97 days into his presidency, Donald Trump is telling American lawmakers about his strategy to keep Pyongyang from acquiring a nuclear weapon. Wednesday, 100 U.S. senators packed into a White House office building to hear the details from top defense, intelligence, and foreign policy officials. U.S. Senator Chris Coons spoke to CGTN about what he learned.
If Kim Jong-un continues provocative actions, nuclear tests, the testing and development of increasingly capable missiles, and explicit threats to attack the United States or our troops or allies in the region, we are well prepared to take action against him.
President Trump has repeatedly extolled the virtues of his friendship with Chinese President Xi Jinping, forged at his private resort. It's clear, says Senator Coons, that Trump sees economic pressure from Beijing as the key to getting Pyongyang to recalculate its intent.
China has the leverage to resolve the situation in a way that meets China's security goals and China's diplomatic goals. I do think in the weeks and months ahead, China will begin to hear from allies all over the world that they are responsible for helping bring North Korea back into the world community of nations.
Beijing has threatened to restrict oil shipments and in February moved to cut off Pyongyang's coal shipments as well. But Beijing is also calling on Washington to end military exercises with Seoul in exchange for a freeze on the DPRK's nuclear program. So far, Washington is doing the opposite. The administration is considering adding the DPRK to its list of state sponsors of terror. And Wednesday, the U.S. tested an unmanned intercontinental ballistic missile, which could put its military within striking distance of Pyongyang. The U.S. is also speeding up assembly of its controversial anti-missile defense system in the Republic of Korea. And the top U.S. Pacific Naval commander says he's moved this carrier strike group just off the coast of Okinawa.
With every test, Kim Jong-un moves closer to his stated goal of a preemptive nuclear strike capability against American cities, and he's not afraid to fail in public. Defending our homeland is my top priority.
Senator Coons is one lawmaker who says he's reassured by the additional U.S. military pressure in the region.
I do think the Trump administration is taking responsible steps in forward deploying assets like the USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier group, the USS Michigan, and the THAAD missile defense system.
Now, the goal here for this White House is to brief all members of Congress about the concerns that they have about the DPRK, and in the event that the U.S. president decides to launch any type of military action which requires congressional authorization, he is trying to build a coalition, not just of members of Congress, but also at the United Nations for additional pressure to be brought to bear on Pyongyang. Jessica Stone, CGTN, Washington.